Hi everybody, my name is Leela. You can find me at leelameinke.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and oh my gosh, I am so excited to share this card with you. I am not kidding. I have wanted to, we'll look at this guy later. He's a pop-up bag. I have wanted to share this card with you since at least July. So this past July 2024, we had our second annual retreat, and the theme, since it was July and it was Olympics, the theme was Paris. And so we used a retired set called Les Shop, and we played a game and everyone got a prize. And I love to give prizes that are like fun products, but also like fun techniques and fun cards. So wait for it. They won, everybody won this prize. Ba, ba, ba. A pop-up bag, and it had, I don't know, like at least 20 die cuts in it. Thank you, Courtney Lynn, for doing all those die cuts. So anyway, super duper fun. I have had this in mind, and of course at the retreat, people are like, how'd you make it? How'd you make it? So I knew I wanted to feature it in my Stampin' Your Way Through the Holidays series, and so that's exactly what we're doing today. We're featuring how to make this card with, of course, current and holiday Christmas products. So one thing I'll share, I made this card the long way, and honestly, if you're doing a belly band, it's a little easier to do it this way because you only need one strip of cardstock for doing the belly band there. Here you're going to need two, and you're going to have to kind of put them together. But I just love the way it looks better on the landscape. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, and you may recognize this product. This is from the Specialty, the Festive Specialty Designer Series paper. So let's go ahead and do the big reveal. Ba, ba, ba. And there's our bag on the inside, with some tissue paper, and then a super cute gift to give would be Barnes & Noble. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. And then just a sentiment, you know, just a super simple sentiment. I think the wow, of course, is the bag. And then the gift card inside, or you could put some little candies, you could put a little mini notebook, you could put all kinds of little things in there. So if you got my Stamp-Along kit this season, this is exactly, you're going to get the ingredients to make exactly this, and today you're going to see the instructions for making exactly this. But I'm also going to show you guys, even if you didn't get my Stamp-Along kit. Now in the Stamp-Along kit, I actually cut and scored all of this for you. I put the little holes in for the ribbon, and I actually put tear and tape on it. But let me show you guys how to do it, because my wish anytime I do a kit or anytime I do instruction is that you're going to be able to follow along as well. And so that's my wish for today. So all the ingredients you're going to need a piece of 4 by 9.5 designer series paper, and you're going to want it on, like, it's going to end up being horizontal. So if you've got a pattern, these little Christmas trees, you're going to want it on the horizontal. So that's for the bag on the inside. If you want a decorative piece of designer series paper for the cover, that's 4 by 5.25. All these, by the way, you can get to my blog hop below. I'm in a blog hop with the fantastic Robbie and Tina. You can get the link below to get to the blog hop and get all of the detailed measurements. We're going to use ephemera from the Festive Specialty pack. We're going to use some more of that designer series paper, and then of course a basic white thick card base and an envelope, and like I said, 2 strips of 1 3/4 by 11, and I'll show you in a little bit how we're going to put those together. All right, so let me take you through the bag. By the way, and gems. Let me get those all together. Let me take you through the bag, and thank you to Robin. I don't remember your last name, but you did a fantastic job explaining this. There are many, 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 many bags and samples out on Pinterest and and YouTube, and now mine will be just one more, right? So I've got my 4 by 9.5, and I'm going to score. Now I love to score using my score score board, but if you want to do it on your trimmer, you can do that as well. And you can take a quickie little snapshot of these measurements. You're cutting it to 4 by 9.5, and we're going to score all those places. That's the long side, that's the short side. So let's go ahead and do those. So I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, and I'm giving a really good burnish. I'm going to score at 1 inch. I'm going to score at 4.5, 5, 5.5, and I'm going to score at 9. And I just realized I didn't cut this to 9.5, so let me get this cut to 9.5. Okay, so repeating, it's 4 by 9.5, and I scored it at 1/2, 1, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and 9. Of course, my piece is going to be 9.5, so I'll get that cut. Then when you want to do, you're going to go on the short side, and you want the top, if you will, to be here. The top is going to have the larger border, so we're going to score the bottom at 1/2 inch. That's all we need on the bottom is 1/2 inch, and we're going to score the top at 3 inches. So we need a pretty wide border along the top. So that's the main thing you need to know there. And let me do a quick little snippy snip to get this cut to 9.5. Just go ahead and do that. Get that. And since I had scored, you know, from here 1/2 inch, 1, etc., I want to make sure I'm cutting off the right end, and I did. So there we go. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and snip away all the tabs, etc. And we're going to end up looking exactly like this. And again, if you got my Stamp-A-Long kit, then you've got this. You might consider either making a template once you've done your first one, or you might just keep this one as a template and make another one. But regardless, we're just going to go ahead and start cutting. So I'm going to cut away the corners, and I realize this one may be inside out, so that's okay. We're going to cut away the corners. So this is the just the 1/2 inch side. So I'm cutting away that corner, and I'm cutting away this corner. I'm cutting right on the score line. So I'm just going to go ahead and snip those. And then I'm going to go to the other corner. I'm going to cut off both the 1/2 inch and the 1 inch. I'm going to cut off that whole corner. I'm going to cut off the bottom corner. There's 2 pieces there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. In the middle, you've got 2 pieces on the bottom and 2 pieces on the top. I'm going to completely cut those out. I will make a note to you that I'm going to do a video sometime in the next week or 2. You guys can actually vote the sequence. I've got a few ideas coming up. I'll ask you which one you want to see next. You can make a comment. And winner chicken dinner, I'll do the one that has the most comments first, but I am going to do both of them. So eventually I'm going to show you how to do a bag. And when we do the bag, you're going to have little different template size, and you're going to have little different cutting instructions. But for this guy, this is what we want. We cut away every single corner. That's exactly what we wanted. Now we're going to go ahead and burnish. So I'm going to take my bone folder, and I'm going to go ahead, and you really want a good burnish because whenever you have a fun fold, and that's what I consider this, whenever you have a fun fold, like there's going to be a lot of interacting, honestly, with your own self. Once you make it, you just want to sit there and go, oh my gosh, it's so cool. But you really want it to behave right. So, and you want it to fit snug into the spine, etc. So we're going to go ahead and burnish really well everywhere. And if you got the kit, I did fold things, but I don't think I burnished it. And so you're going to want to take the time to do exactly this step here. You're not going to need to cut, but you're going to need to take the time to get the folds like good and burnished so that they're kind of going both ways. And you'll see the importance in a little bit too when we go to seal up the bag. So here's our top. You want to keep that intact. Now I like to do what's called, I don't know, is it mitering or, yeah, I think it's mitering. I like to miter. Oh yeah, I'm going to do the bottom too. I like to miter the top because it's cutting it a little bit close, or it's a little bit too cramped and crinkly if you keep this whole rectangle there. So I'm just coming in like this. I'm getting right into the corner, snip, and I'm coming, and I like to work from the base outward because I have done it where if I go in here, I might not get exactly in the corner, for instance, and then I'm causing the very bunch that I don't want to have happen. There can be a little bit of bunching. So I'm coming in. I'm not being super perfection about this because you're not going to see this. It's going to be so tucked in deeply on the inside. All right, I've got it all ready. There's two more things I want to do. I want to take my tear-in tape and I want to, so this is going to be the outside. And so I'm just getting everything ready where I want the outside. So your tape goes on the outside tabs. I want the red on the outside. The tape goes on the outside tabs. I'm going to go ahead, and I didn't miter the bottom, not at all necessary to do that. You'll see what I mean in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead. So that goes on the bottom, and then the way it assembles, you've got like two gussets. You've got a gusset over there. You've got a gusset over here. And so you just want to make sure that you get the tape over here either on this side or on this side. So I can't tell you that it's definitely going to go on the green or definitely going to go on the red. It depends where you put it. So I'm going to just go ahead and put it on the red. And when you get yours in your kit, you'll see, I think that I put it on the red as well. All right, so everything's ready with one exception. We want to put a couple holes in there in order to put the ribbon through. Now, you could do a couple things. You could take a hole punch. So you want the hole, this is going to fold over on the inside. And it's going to cover the ribbon. So you want the hole so that it's going to be mostly covered up. And you also want the hole so that it's not in the gusset, and you also want the hole kind of centered nicely so that when you open it up, you've got a handle that looks like a nice handle, right? So, so you can take your hole punch and go in the right amount. I will be honest with you, I wasn't that great at just kind of winging it. So you could come in and you could take a ruler and you could come, you know, the right equidistance down, and so you could make your little dots. What I have is, once I got it the way that I like it, I actually have a template, and then I use a piercing tool, and I use, well, no, I can't find it. I've got kind of a little spongy surface where I put things, but you could do it in the air too. So I've got my template. I know I like where my holes are. I'm just going to kind of go through like that, and I'm going to go through like that, and then, and you can see where they are. And I like a nice big hole. So they're just, and honestly, you're not going to see it. So it could be just far enough down that it's at the tip, and you can see where they are from the gusset. So go ahead and, you know, be as precise as you want to be there. And then once you've got it the way you like it, I really do recommend that you have a template, and then you just use it, and you use a little pencil, or you use a little hole punch, you know, a little piercing tool on your own. And then again, I poked a little hole, and then I came in through further with a thicker kind of hole going all the way through. Now I'm totally ready. I'm totally ready. So let's go ahead and do it. And I am going to use my ribbon. Now the ribbon that I've chosen to use, this ribbon, by the way, is retired. It's on the clearance rack, and it's a great price. It's like $3 for two, for a roll of green and a roll of red. And I'm wanting to have a ribbon that's about 6 inches long. So I don't know if you can see it, but I used my grid along the bottom, and I cut it 6 inches, and I cut it 6 inches. And here is my tip that I love, 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 love. And I hope that this helps you. Sometimes you can get it through, you can get the ribbon through and you can thread it nicely. Sometimes you can't. I'm using, this is the tool from the embossing kit that we have. And it just helps the ribbon go all the way through. So I start from the back, I pull it all the way through. I leave just the tiniest little piece. I come around over here. Now, if your ribbon has a directionality, like maybe that's the front or that's the front, this one doesn't matter. But if it's got a directionality, you want to take time to line up your ribbon on both sides too. Go ahead and punch it through. And again, I'm going to leave just the tiniest little tail. And then I'm going to put my tear and tape right here. I'm going to peel off the tear and tape. I'm going to attach that right there. I just like a good secure ribbon. I did one time poke too hard through the whole bag with this guy. Only did that once. That's all you need to learn that. But then I just put a little bit of Scotch tape behind it, and it just sealed it up, and you can't even tell. But anyway, so I go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. Because I've been trying to keep these videos at 15 minutes. I realize this one's going to be a little bit longer. And so then look how cute that is. Then we come over here, but it won't be too much longer. I'll try not to have it be too much longer. So then we've got this guy. He goes all the way through. Goes all the way through over here. I really hope you make these. I studied this. Well, first I studied from one gal named Robin, and then I went out and started studying from other people. And there's just some really fun variations, of which I'm going to show you my favorite over the next couple weeks. And this is just something that needed a little bit of study. This isn't something that you just like watch it once, do it, bingo, bango, done. It took me a little bit of study to kind of get it right. But oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. Well, I told you I did it at the retreat. I'm doing it for a swap. So, so there you go. So now we've got both of those sides. Go ahead. And then the final thing we're going to do to assemble the bag, we are not going to assemble the bottom. We're going to keep the bottoms sticking out like that, but we are going to adhere the two sides. And what you want to do sometimes with the scoring, the gussets don't line up just right. Sometimes, like, I don't know, they get off like a little 1/8 of an inch or something. So I'm coming over to this side and making sure this side is nice and flush. And then I'm coming over to this side and making sure that side is nice and flush. And I'm giving one final kind of press along the top. And then I'll go ahead and I'll adhere. So how this works is where there's the one piece, you fold it in on itself. Where there's the gusset, you fold it in on itself. You come over, you line it up, and of course I have it too far away from me. You know, the nice thing about tear and tape is you can also, if you get to it right away, you can pull it apart just like if you're using liquid glue. All right, great. I've got that, I've got that. Now we're gonna go ahead and put it inside the card base. So you might want to stamp the inside of your card first, although I definitely did stamp after, it's fine. I'm going to take one piece off first, and then I'm going to take the other piece off. So I've got my flaps all the way open. I took the tear and tape off of one side. I'm going to put it in the middle, and I don't want to go over the spine. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. I'm going to close it. Then and only then will I come over here and take the other piece of tear and tape off. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Give it a good burnish. Wait for it. Is that so cool? Is that so very cool? So that's your card. You guys, I think the rest of the card is pretty self-explanatory. You've got all these different ingredients. These are from the Festive Specialty Designer Series paper. So I gave you, in the kit, I gave you a little piece, but if you want a little piece of cardstock you can mount this to. This is from the ephemera pack. You can go ahead and use that, and then you can go ahead and use the little pine cone. You can get that added. I've dimensional. I've added the faceted gems just to make it look like a little frosty. I've taken the silver twine, and then I took an extra little strip of the Designer Series paper, cut it in half, and I used a little strip on one side, a little strip on one side. And the fussy thing with the, so I just took two strips. These are 1 3/4, 1 3/4. You're gonna want it to go around the card base. So I kind of took that like that, and see, if you wrap it around, it's just not gonna work perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna adhere these two together. And then, and I've already scored them, so I'm gonna go ahead and adhere them so that the score wraps nicely. And then I'm just gonna cut nicely on the back, and I'm gonna have a seam on the back as well. So anyway, that's how I did it. If you find a more efficient way, but that's how I did it. I took, yeah, like that and like that, and then you can go ahead and cut it. So you just can't get to it with one piece, so you've just kind of got to marry it. Like I married these two. I'll just do it because I realize it's a little fussy to do this, so sorry it's going a little long. Okay, without cutting, I've got this here, and I'm giving a little room for it to move around. I'm gonna go ahead, put a little bit of glue right there, and then I'm gonna come over here, and without cutting, I'm going to, I know it's not, it's a little fussy. It's not perfect. So I'm gonna come over here, like this. Now one of these doesn't have to be cut perfectly because you're not going to see it. So I'll cut one of them a little bit, not perfect. I've got that. I've got that. I've got enough. You can just see with your eyeballs that it's got enough room. It's going to navigate nicely. Then I can come over here. I can put the adhesive like this. I can wrap this around and attach it. So now I've got my band all the way around. And honestly, then and only then can you decide where to cut it. Maybe you take it all the way to the edge and you just cut it like right there with a nice straight snip. And then honestly, you don't even see that second seam. That works perfectly actually. So you go like that, and then you adhere it underneath, and then you've got it. So yeah, you might come up with a better way, but that's the way I did it. So that goes like that. And then you don't even have to decorate the back. Or you could absolutely put some ribbon around the back or put some designer series paper around the back. And then this is when you just build your front and you add all your layers and you end up with this beautiful card. I'm going to show you a little sneaky peek, and I'm going to ask you for a vote for next week. Which version would you like me to cover? Would you like me to show you how to make the bag? This is not a pop-up bag. It's the exact same pattern. It's a little bit longer. The bottoms are treated a little bit differently. So would you like me to show you this super cute bag? The exact same pattern, a little bit bigger. I already showed you this in one of my tag videos, so I showed you that guy, super cute. Or do you want me to show you, wait for it, there is a different way to display the bag. And oh my gosh, I'm quite smitten with this as well. So would you like me to show you how to make the bag, or would you like me to show you how to make the pop-up so that it pops up like that? Oh my gosh, so cute. So cute. Like, once you do it, there are so many ways that it'll just needs to fit in the tiny little corner of a crease. And I can show you my tip for how I'm sealing that without a magnet. So you guys vote. Do you want to see the bag, full bag on its own, or do you want to see the second pop-up? Which one do you want to see first? Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.